It started with a hand. The cabin was supposed to be a refuge, a ranger outpost buried deep in the woods, a place where Ellis and I could sit out the worst of the winter storms. Miles from civilization, nothing but static on the radio, and endless trees in every direction. Isolation wasn't new to us. We'd done these long winter shifts before, but this time, something was different. It began on the third night. A scratching sound at the window. Not the wind, not branches. Something deliberate. I turned my head slowly, heart knocking against my ribs. And there it was. A hand, pressed flat against the glass, long, bony fingers splayed unnaturally wide. The skin, grayish, frostbitten, looked too thin, stretched taut over the bones like old leather. But it wasn't the sight of it that made my blood run cold. It was the stillness. It didn't knock. It didn't tap. It just rested there, watching. I blinked, and it was gone. For a long time, I just sat there, my breath caught in my throat. Then I turned to Ellis. He was staring into the fire, completely still, the flames flickering against his face. "You see that?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. He didn't move, didn't speak. Then, finally, he turned to me, slow, too slow. His expression was blank, his eyes too dark. "See what?" His voice sounded off, not quite right, like it wasn't fully there. A cold knot formed in my stomach. I glanced back at the window. Nothing. The storm outside raged on, but the room suddenly felt too quiet. The only sound was the crackle of the fire and Ellis's slow, steady breathing. I told myself it was my imagination, that the dark plays tricks on people. I was wrong. The second night, I didn't sleep. Every gust of wind, every creak of the wood made my nerves tighten like a wire. At some point, I must have dozed off because I woke to a sound that sent ice through my veins. A soft, rhythmic tapping. Not at the window this time. At the door. I sat up, pulse hammering. The fire had burned low, casting long, jittery shadows along the walls. Tap, tap, tap. It was slow, almost patient. I grabbed my flashlight, took a breath, and stood. Every part of me screamed not to, but I had to see, had to prove to myself that there was nothing there. I reached for the doorknob. Behind me, Ellis spoke. "You shouldn't open it." His voice was quiet, almost thoughtful. I turned to him. He was still sitting by the fire, staring at the door now, his face unreadable. "What?" I asked, throat dry. He blinked. Then, too slowly, he smiled. Not a normal smile. It was too wide, showing too many teeth. Because it might decide to come in. I shut the door, bolted it. The third night, something changed. Ellis wasn't acting like Ellis anymore. He barely spoke. When he did, his words were slow, deliberate, like someone remembering how to talk. He didn't eat, didn't sleep, just sat there, watching the fire. Then there was the other thing, the way he moved. Too stiff, too precise, like his body was a puppet, and something else was pulling the strings. That night, I woke up to silence. Not the good kind, the kind that presses in from all sides. The fire had gone out. The room was cold, and Ellis was gone. The door was open. Snow swirled inside, the wind howling. I grabbed my flashlight and stepped forward, heart pounding. The beam cut through the dark, landing on footprints in the snow, leading away from the cabin. And beside them, something else. Long claw tracks, like fingers, dragging. I followed. The forest was suffocatingly still. My breath came in ragged bursts, the cold biting in my skin. The footprints led deeper into the trees, and then they stopped. Just like that. Ellis's footprints vanished. No sign of struggle. No body. Just empty, untouched snow. And then I heard breathing right behind me. I spun, flashlight shaking. Nothing, just trees, shadows, wind. But something was watching me. I felt it. And then just for a second, a hand curling around a tree trunk. Gray skin, long, bony fingers. And behind it, something moving in the dark. I ran. I didn't stop until I was back in the cabin, slamming the door shut and throwing the bolt. My lungs burned. My hands shook. Ellis was gone. I was alone. Or at least, I should have been. But as I stood there, heart racing, tried to catch my breath, something breathed behind me, and I knew it was already inside, and it had been for a while.